仲直りするような関係だったんだ。浅井ちゃんだっけ？お友達。血が出てるぞ。人間のってことはまた明日、友達。
Welcome to Call of the Night, an anime where hot vampires, teen romance, and nighttime activities, wink wink, all come together. Ko Yamari is a 14-year-old rebel who loves to sneak out and explore the world at night. It makes him feel alive and free, like he belongs in the darkness. Unfortunately, Ko has been having trouble sleeping lately, and it's starting to take a toll on him. Maybe he needs more nighttime escapades to tire him out? Who knows? On top of all that, Ko recently received a love letter in his locker from a girl who clearly has the hots for him, but he rejected her, explaining that he's just not ready for the dating scene yet. Poor guy, he's got a lot on his plate for a second-year middle schooler. While going out at night to quell his thoughts, Ko meets a mysterious baddie. As they stroll along, she notices Ko's drowsiness and suggests they head back to her place. Inside the elevator, she drops a bombshell. She's a sleep advisor with the gift of helping people snooze better. They reach her apartment and she invites Ko to share her futon. As she takes off her coat, Ko's mind starts racing with dirty thoughts, but she quickly clarifies that they're just going to sleep. Despite feeling uneasy, Ko is stopped from leaving with the assurance that he'll wake up refreshed in the morning. No funny business guaranteed. Okay, so picture this. Ko and this girl are chilling on a futon, right? She tells him to close his eyes, and he's like, this is kind of weird, but okay. So he decides to pretend he's sleeping so he can bounce out of there later, but then she starts asking if he's sleeping, and he doesn't say anything. Next thing he knows, she's biting his neck. She's loving it, but Ko is freaking out. He finds some blood and calls her out on it, but she's like, oh, that was just a big mosquito I smacked. Yeah, right. But before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. Who is your favorite waifu in anime? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out in a future video. Now, back to the recap. Ko starts wondering if she's a vampire, and she's like, yep, I am. Ko's like, oh snap, am I gonna turn into a vampire too? But she shuts that down real quick. She's like, nah, you gotta fall in love with a vampire to become one, and Ko's like, what the heck? Why didn't you turn me then? She's like, bro, making new family members every time I ate would be annoying. I'm just here for the blood, not the babies. So there you have it. Ko's not gonna become a vampire unless he catches feelings for this girl. Wild, right? The girl tells Ko he can stay out as long as he wants, and that's not a bad way to live, but then Ko drops another bombshell. He wants to become a vampire. He knows he would never have the courage to do it himself, but after experiencing the night, it's the first time he's wanted to do something. Ko asks her to turn him into a vampire and let him fall in love with her. Finally, the girl introduces herself as the vampire Nazuna Nanakusa. Looks like things are about to get interesting. The next few nights, things start to slow down a bit. Multiple times, Ko can't find where Nazuna is, and he ends up not getting his blood sucked. Poor guy. Bro just wants to turn into a vampire, but his pseudo-girlfriend is nowhere to be found. One night, he finally meets up with Nazuna and discovers that she's been feeding off random people. What a scandal. A little bit jealous, Ko wants to be the exclusive person Nazuna feeds off of. In order to solve their communication problem, Ko buys Nazuna a walkie-talkie watch that they both can talk with. It is also revealed that he had set up another walkie-talkie before, hoping that someone would pick it up and chat with him. But before Nazuna, nobody had responded to his old walkie-talkie. As Ko heads home, he spots his old walkie-talkie and starts reminiscing about his lost device. Suddenly, the darn thing rings, making him jump out of his skin. To his surprise, a girl sporting the exact same transceiver sneaks up on him and greets him by name, wondering what he's up to. Looks like Ko's nostalgia trip just got a lot more interesting. As it turns out, Akira, Ko's old classmate, had picked up the walkie-talkie back in middle school but never called Ko using it. They get to talking and reminiscing about the good old days. Ko notices that she's out awfully early, and Akira responds by saying that she likes to get up early for school. For the next few days, Ko has a new routine. He meets up with Nazuna so she can suck his blood, and then goes to Akira. Whoa, what a playboy. Eventually, Nazuna finds out about Akira and the three go to a bar for breakfast. Akira still doesn't believe that Nazuna is a vampire, and this upsets the bloodsucker. Ko goes after Nazuna but can't find her. After apologizing for meeting Akira without telling her, Nazuna forgives him and kisses Ko. What a steamy scene. As it turns out, Nazuna kissed Ko just to get to suck his blood at the same time. This girl is really playing with my boy's feelings for real. Ko's out for the night and itching to find Nazuna. He spots her easy peasy and bam, decides to keep his distance. As he wanders, the kiss replays in his mind and he realizes only lovebirds smooch like that. Suddenly, he's hit with the realization that he might be head over heels for Nazuna. But wait, did he also become a bloodsucker or what? As it turns out, the requirement for vampirification has not been fulfilled just yet. Ko, Akira, and Nazuna all meet up and the trio go back to Nazuna's place to play video games for God knows how long. 3 of them were chilling on the futon, but Akira felt super awkward and just wanted to leave. She mumbled something about waiting outside of school for a couple of hours and started to get up. Then, Nazuna drops the bomb that it's raining cats and dogs and she's got no umbrella. So, Akira caves and stays put, but it's not exactly a fun time. To make matters worse, Nazuna starts gnawing on Ko's neck and Akira's about ready to lose her mind. Eventually, all 3 of them fall asleep and Akira wakes up late for school. Uh-oh. Starting off episode 5, we get a look into the daily life of everybody's favorite vampire, Nazuna. She starts off playing video games, but eventually gets bored. Later, she takes a bath and gets annoyed that vampires can't see themselves in the mirror since they don't have reflections. Once Nazuna finished her blood-sucking session with Ko, he feels a bit tired and wants to find a place to rest. God came in clutch and they ended up booking a love hotel as it was the closest thing available. Ko gets extremely embarrassed as he realizes where they are. Nazuna frankly doesn't care and puts on some adult videos at max volume to annoy the neighbors. Later, Ko wonders about how many people Nazuna sucked blood from. This leads to Ko realizing that Nazuna's quote-unquote services were actually quite lewd. One of the jobs she has is a professional massager. Nazuna tells Ko to take over the business for a while as she's busy. One of the customers Ko is in charge of is Kiyosumi Shirakawa, a 24-year-old burnt-out office worker. Nazuna begs Ko to do the massage and offers him 2,000 yen. Ko hasn't done a massage before, but Nazuna states he should just follow her instructions. Nazuna also tells him that if he does do it, she'll reward him with another kiss. Obviously, this gets the blood pumping and Ko agrees. Once the client arrives, Ko's hands work tirelessly over Kiyosumi's back, but his mind was on something else entirely, the 2,000 yen and a possible bonus kiss. During the massage, however, Kiyosumi's phone rings and it reveals that she has been forced to work endless night shifts at the whims of her pervert boss. Kiyosumi begins to cry and tries to leave the massage to go to work. Suddenly, Nazuna phases through the wall and throws Kiyosumi to stop her from having to go to work. That's one way to do it, I guess. Kiyosumi was freaking out, thinking she was going to become a sidewalk splatter. But then, out of nowhere, Ko takes a flying leap after her, and Nazuna swoops in to grab them both. After they land safely, Ko apologizes for his dramatics, but he just couldn't bear to let her go to work, when it was clearly making her so miserable. He tells her that if something's making her cry like that, she shouldn't have to deal with it. This triggers an emotional reaction from the office worker, and she thanks the two as she heads to work with a new view of the world. Immediately wanting something fun to do, Nazuna asks Ko to suggest what they should do next, and the pair end up going to a nighttime pool. As Nazuna goes to grab some drinks, Ko starts to wonder why she's showing more skin than usual and finds it surprisingly erotic. The people around them can't help but stare at Nazuna, who's clearly turning heads with her attractive looks. Suddenly, 2 guys try to hit on her, and Nazuna notices Ko's expression. Mischievously, she decides to tease him by saying that the person she came with might have already left. While she chats with the guys, Ko starts to feel a little jealous and can't resist pulling her away from them. Ko is not a fan of the nighttime pool scene, too many people and their opinions. He's not digging the fake friendliness either. Nazuna offers to take a dip, swoops him up, and leads him to a secluded pool. It's their school's pool. They make a splash in their clothes, and Nazuna apologizes for messing with them. It's all good, Ko's not tripping. Then, out of nowhere, Nazuna goes in for the bite. Ko's left feeling all sorts of things and wonders if Nazuna will clue him in. Will our boy ever manage to become a vampire? Find out in our next recap of Call of the Night.